Have you ever been forced to live out your days on a small island where a cruel taskmaster forces you to complete extremely repetitive tasks over and over and over again with only a small chance of accomplishing anything just for their own amusement? No? Well, me neither. I, in fact, opted into this. Welcome back to Portlock, my Sailing OneChunk Ironman, where we are sailing the seas of Gielinor one chunk at a time, accomplishing everything there is to do along the way. Last episode, we made it over one of our biggest hurdles to date by obtaining a 1 in 28,401 drop of a raw marlin from Barracuda salvage. We got it! We got the raw marlin! Oh my god! Now, we just have a handful of tasks we need to clean up before we can finally continue on our journey. So enough dallying, let's just dive back in to see where we're at. And once again, welcome aboard to Portlock. Okay, hello and welcome back to Portlock, episode 12. Last episode, some stuff happened, but most importantly, we got the raw marlin from the Barracuda salvage. I am still reeling from this. This is so glad we have that grind done. However, that was the grind I was most concerned about. That was the grind that took the longest. It is, however, not the end of these chunks. We have a number of other things that we have a number of other things that we need to do that we are going to be systematically checking off this episode. So, first of all, we have a number of best in slot items that we need to get. We need a steel kite shield, a steel chain body, a steel medium helm, a U shield, and a bronze longsword. We also have a ship upgrade that we need to get, which is to put a second steel cannon on our lunar clan, the sloop. Oh, and of course, we actually have to attempt to cook the marlin. Now, to do all of those things, we do have some skills that we need to grind. We need 94 cooking to cook the marlin. We technically only need 91 cooking. However, that's only like a 20% chance of cooking the marlin, so I want to get to 94 to give it about a 50% chance to be able to cook the marlin. We need 72 fletching to be able to fletch a U shield. We need 42 smithing to be able to smith the steel kite shield. And we need 40 defense in order to wield a U shield. On top of that, we do not have any steel bars, and we need 15 of them in order to make everything that we need. And so we are going to have to do some more salvaging. Luckily this time it's just a small salvage, which is right there, which is much faster, and so shouldn't take anywhere near as long as the marlin grind did, especially because we won't need to do nearly as much of it. Now, where are we at? What's our current state looking like as far as what we have banked for everything? So starting with smithing. We are currently at 35 smithing. We need to get to 42 smithing, which means we need 22,056 experience. Currently, with our bronze and iron bars, we have 13,037.5 experience banked, which is 59% of the way to the 20,056 experience that we need. Which means we have a little over 9,000 experience left. Which, in order to do this, each small salvage is approximately 2.2 smithing experience. And so using that number, we need to salvage about 4,100 small salvage, which would take us about 47 trips, in order to get enough bars that we can get up to 42 smithing. That doesn't really matter, because we do, once again, need 15 steel bars. We've used all of the steel bars that we already had, and so we need 15 more of them. Those come at a rate of 1 in 1,721 from the small salvage, which means we would need to salvage almost 26,000 small salvage for nearly 300 salvaging trips. So that's where our smithing is at the moment. Fletching. Now, to get to 72 fletching, we are currently at 62 fletching. to get to 72, we need a further 547,000 experience. Now, from our escapades, trying to get the Marlin, we have a large stockpile of particularly oak and teak logs, and some other ones from other things. Luckily, we have plenty of fletching experience banked. So, if I did all my calculations correctly, using the 1,013 bronze bars to make bronze arrow tips, using the oak logs to make arrow shafts, and then turn those into arrows, and then using the rest of our oak logs to turn into unstrung oak longbows, all of our teak logs, using all of our teak logs to turn into teak stalks, and using all of our maple logs to turn into unstrung maple longbows, we have 572,000 fletching experience banked. That does not include using any of our normal logs, using any of our U logs, accounting for any additional bronze bars, any additional iron bars. And I also totally forgot that we have 2,885 mithril arrow tips here and 1,260 arrow shafts here that we can also use. Long story short, we have plenty of fletching experience banked. We won't need to bother doing any more wood cutting. So that's the smithing and the fletching. We also have the 94 cooking, which we have 1 million experience in fish offcuts from the red crabs here. We also have more than enough money to be able to buy all of the fish from Henderson and cooking them in order to get to 94 cooking. The only other thing we have to worry about then is to get to 40 defense in order to wield the U shield, which we are currently at 30 defense, and so we need 10 more defense levels, which is not going to be any kind of an issue. And that's actually where I want to start this episode. Okay. So, this is what I'm going to be using to train my defense. So, we're currently at 30 defense, we need 10 more defense levels, and for the most part, I'm going to be killing the deadly red spiders. However, I want to train up a couple of other combat stats while we're at it. So first of all, we got some more mind runes last episode, and so I would like to use those up to try to get our magic level as high as we can. When we get to, we're at 7, we'll probably get to Earth Strike, so I'll also grab the Earth runes, though we don't have a tremendous amount of them. I kind of doubt we'll get to Fire Strike, but who knows. I'll grab the Fire runes anyways. But yeah, I want to use that to train up my magic level as best I can. We also have a pretty low strength level. So it looks like our next max hit, when not on an aggressive combat style, is at 26. So we'll probably train up our strength to 26. And then train up our defense all the way to 40. But first,
it's time for some magic.
So, I don't know. It's probably still worth it just to attack the rats. So, I'll be doing that until I run out of runes, and I will let you know where I get with that. 9 magic? Oh, and that is Earth Strike, so let's start using... Oh. So let's... I should probably just turn off Auto Retaliate. I've been accidentally hitting them a lot. But yeah, that is 9 magic, which gives us Earth Strike. And yes, we have enough Earth runes to use all of our Mind runes. So... Oh, that's actually also a new max hit on the strike spells. So all the strike spells have the same max hit now since the elemental weaknesses update. They used to each have different max hits. I'm using Earth Strike because it's just XP. And that's 10 magic. Let's see, Fire Strike is at 13. Still kind of doubt we'll get there, but who knows? Oh, and that's 11. Which gives us access to Weaken. Let's see, only 4 casts left. 3... Oh. Two... 1. Last cast. And we did not get the kill. Let's see, where are we at? We're at 11, almost 12. 38 XP to 12, which is still not Fire Strike yet. We don't really get anything there. We do, however, we have Weaken now, and we do have a single body rune. We got a single body rune a couple of episodes ago from a mystery box. We had done this before. We'd gotten one previously when we had access to Confuse, and that actually got us a level. I doubt Weaken gives 38 experience, but we can certainly give it a go. It's so ridiculous. I'm relying on single body runes from mystery boxes. Let's see. 21. Lot more than I expected, but not quite enough to push us over the threshold of level 12. If we get another body rune, though, it will be. Anyways. Going to be attacking the deadly red spiders, and they don't really drop anything, so I'm just gonna bring some bass, just in case they actually start doing damage to me. But otherwise, let's see, I want to be aggressive. And then when we get to 26? I think it was 26. Yeah, 26 is our next max hit. When we get to 26 strength, we will switch over to defense and probably go all the way to 40 there. Let's see, how is this? Nope. Really want to turn out a retaliate back on. I do want to attack them now. These guys are actually hitting me kind of hard. So I don't know. I'll try this for a while, see how well it goes. May end up switching back to those guys. The rats and giant spiders over there. Although we have a ton of food, so maybe I'll just use the food. I don't know. I'll keep at it. I'll keep at this for a little while. See how well it goes. I do, have to be very careful not to die.
No, don't die, please! I'm not dying, you idiot!
22 strength. 23 strength. 24 strength. 25 strength. Followed up by 36 hit points. Only one more strength level to go. And this is... if you want to hit... No, take your time. There we go. 26 strength. Which means we can switch to block, and we will still have a 5 max hit, I believe. 31. 32. 33. 34. 37 hit points, and 58 combat. 35 defense. 36. 37. 38 hit points. 38 defense. 2 more levels. 39 defense. 1 level to go. And there we go, 40 defense. That is one of our chunk tasks. Well, not, kind of sort of one of our chunk tasks. That's the combat level we need to wield the U-Shield. Of course, we also need to actually wield the U-Shield, which we don't have the U-Shield yet. So, yeah. Okay, finished killing that guy. We are done with combat. At least for the time being. So we can take all that stuff off. Let's see, what do we want to do next? You know, I guess, how about we start on smithing. I do think I'm just gonna turn all of these into arrow tips to go with our fletching grind. Yeah, that's gonna drain a lot of run energy. Oh well. I might do something in between. I don't know, maybe some fletching or something. Or maybe when we run out of run energy, I'll just do a salvage. So we are gonna have to do a lot of that. But yeah, I think I am going to, be smithing the bronze arrow tips. And then when I run out of run energy, I'll do a salvaging trip. Because we're still going to need to do a lot of small salvages. But yeah, that is going to be my plan for the moment. So, I also discovered this a little while ago when I was doing the Barracuda salvaging. But because I only had a single salvage point to salvage from, it didn't really come in handy at all. But there are salvaging worlds. And so I'm gonna try salvaging on one of those. Because what happens is there's like 2 of these. 2 of the shipwrecks in this entire area are inactive and all the rest are active. And so hopefully what happens is there's like enough people like that where they're at the other ones. And so the one I'm at just kind of stays active all the time. I'm also putting 8 on the helm, because I think that'll be easier than trying to have her salvage, because she sucks at salvaging.
That's true.
I probably would have done this for the Barracuda salvage as well. Except that she just abandons her post whenever you enter the stormy area if you don't have the correct sails. Run energy is already almost all the way filled up. Whereas it was at 0 when I started. So, being able to just quickly go out for a salvage and then hop back in to continue my smithing grind. I think is going to be what I'm doing for the time being. I may have just thought of something really stupid. We have 31 law runes. How many trips do we need to do 1,000 bars? Let's see. 38 trips. I guess that would only be 4 law runes. So we have this Sailor's Amulet, which I believe teleports us right over there. And so I think something we could do is that. And now we're here. And then, after we do all our smithing... 36 smithing. Steel longsword, steel stuff. Oh yeah, that does remind me actually. I need a bronze longsword. That defensive bonus that it has is what like makes it a best in slot, and like all the longswords have the same thing. So that's technically our best in slot at the moment for what is it for? Crush and slash tanking. Best in slot weapon. Bronze longsword. And again, this could have been an iron or steel longsword or something. Anyways. Smithing. Do the rest of arrow tips. Okay. Now that we're done with our smithing, we can also do this. And we're right back here. And so that saves us having to run. We still have to run this way one direction. But that basically halves the amount of distance we need to run. It uses 2 charges on our amulet. We have 47, and I believe I had one law rune and 10 water runes. So this goes in here. That's weird best in slot item. Yeah, 1 law rune is 10 charges. If we need to smith 1,000 bars, we would need to make like 80 trips. Which, I mean, that's only 8 law runes. So that's really not that bad, and we, like, I don't have really anything I can use law runes for. I mean, we don't have any teleports. Telekinetic grab will probably come in handy at some point, but we'll probably have better access to law runes after that. These law runes. Let's see, these law runes have come from lost crates and random events. I think like the Evil Bob Pete random event, Prisoner Pete random event, can give you law runes, and I got 1 or 2 sets of law runes from them. Maybe the mystery box as well. But yeah. I'm also going to change the left click, at least for now, to Pandemonium, so that I don't have to be left clicking, and I'm probably going to want to change that back after, so that I don't accidentally try to remove it and teleport. Not that I know that from experience or anything. But yeah, doing this should speed us up quite a bit. At least as far as just this part of the smithing grind goes. Alright, 37 smithing. Steel full helm and steel throwing knives. Nice. 38 smithing. 4 levels left to go. Can make steel square shields I can make steel keel parts. And smithing tutor. Nice. Sailor's Amulet teleports. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth the, 8 law runes I've needed to use. Makes the back and forth so much nicer. Haven't actually run out of run energy yet. So I've just been able to plow through the smithing so far. Yeah. This is also weird, because all of my clips have been level ups. Which I'm not used to from the, getting, 1 level every however long. But, yeah, these are definitely at early levels. So it isn't, there's not much room between smithing levels, whereas, I'm almost to 86 sailing, and I still need 130,000 experience there. So, it's been kind of fun just having my levels go up this quickly. But I am running a little low on... Well, I say a little low. I have 400 left. 400 bronze bars left. And so that is, what? 1 more level? 238 to 38, and then at least that to 39. Or no, we're currently 38. 230 to 39, and then more than that to level 40. So I think we'll be able to squeeze 1 more level out of our current bronze bars. And then, I don't know, probably turn all of our... I think I'll probably turn all the arrow tips into arrows. Both these and the mithril ones. And then, after that, really just need to do a bunch of salvaging again. Alright, 39 smithing. 3 levels to go. Can make steel warhammers now. Let's see, we need 287. We have less than 200 bronze bars left, so we are not going to get another level out of this. Okay, we have turned all of our bars into arrow tips. So we have, well, let's go grab everything from our bank. So, we have 15,315 bronze arrow tips, 255 iron arrow tips, and 2,885 mithril arrow tips. We also have 1,260 arrow shafts, and a whole lot of feathers. So, all in all, it's 18,455 arrow tips. We need 17,195 more arrow shafts. And it's 30 arrow shafts per oak log. So that would be 574 oak logs. Which is really not a lot. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, 18,480. We have enough arrow shafts to fletch all of our arrow tips. And so that is what we will be doing next. Alright, first fletching level, 63, 9 left to go. Ruby tipped addy bolts. Cool. We're a bit over halfway through. We've done almost 11,000, have 7,500 left to add feathers too. And then, of course, need to actually add the arrow tips to all of these as well. And that is all of our arrow shafts turned into headless arrows. now actually add the arrow tips to them. Alright, 64 fletching. 8 levels to go. We were able to get one level out of all these arrows. There's a very, very big difference between the mithril arrow tips and the bronze and iron ones. It's like 19.5 for each set of 15 bronze ones, like 30 something for the iron ones, and 112 for the mithril ones. We got these, by the way, from I think the bull sharks. We had a big bull shark grind. And so all these mithril arrow tips came from there. So that definitely came in handy. The new cow boss was just released. And yeah, I've seen a couple of people with the cow pet. What's its name? Like beef? That would be... I mean, we're not too awful far off from it. Let's see, it's here. And I think we need... yeah, these 2 chunks. So we're actually, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 away from that. And that is a truly early game boss, so I don't think I would have any trouble defeating it. At least from what I've seen, it looks very easy compared to anything else. And it also has a handful of drops that would be really useful. Well, I say a handful of drops. I know the Muleta, which is like a steel defender, or something along those lines. That would be really nice to have. Because, the, Warriors Guild is way up here. So, it would be a little while before we could get a defender. But, also, with that, we are out of arrow tips. We still have 25 headless arrows. Let's see what our armory is looking like. 18,000 bronze arrows, 3,400 iron arrows, 1,600 steel arrows. We did not make any of those, of course. And 2,900 mithril arrows. That is nice. Those arrows will definitely come in handy at some point. We're at 64 of 72 fletching, so we have 8 more levels there. We're also at 39 of 42 smithing. And 86 of 94 cooking. I think I want to start salvaging. I think that's what I want to do. I want to salvage the small shipwrecks. See if we can start getting some of that steel. We only ended up doing a single trip while we were smithing all of our bars. So we have not done very much. So I think this is what I am going to be doing for a little while. Probably at least a couple thousand salvage. And if anything interesting happens, I will let you know. And we definitely had a nice break of getting a bunch of levels and doing a bunch of other things besides salvaging. And now we are right back to salvaging. I just got a beekeeper random, so I got a lamp and some flax. And this lamp is finally level 2 Slayer. Apparently you don't get anything for her, which I suppose isn't very surprising. But yeah, we have gotten our first 51 Slayer levels. Only 49 more to go. Well, I guess because we started at level 1, we only need 50 Slayer levels. Huh. Alright, that is Yeah, 51 Slayer. But yes, we've gotten our first of 50 Slayer levels. Now they should start coming in a bit faster, and then eventually they'll start slowing down. I think it was something like 500 lamps in total that we need. Little over 500 lamps or something. But yeah, awesome. Smithing, we're at 39. I estimated we would need 4,099 small salvages to get enough banked smithing experience to be able to get to 42 smithing. We're not quite there. We've done 4,073. I did end up resetting my loot tracker for specifically just for small salvage. I don't normally like doing that, but the when I was initially doing the small salvage, it got messed up because it hadn't been updated to work with salvaging, and so I thought I'd just reset it so it's a bit cleaner. I don't plan on doing that again because I kind of just like seeing the number go up. Because I kind of just like seeing the entirety of what I've been doing and having like only half of what I had done was kind of annoying. However, smithing. Let's see. We are once again currently at 39, almost 40 smithing. Means we need 8,843 experience. What do we have in our bank? We have 484 bronze bars, which is 6,000 XP. And 127 iron bars, which is another 3,000. So we're at over 9,000. We're at what, 9,100 and 9,225? Yeah, 9,225 XP. So we are actually 400 XP over. We also have 3 steel bars. It's 3 of the 15. We are 1/5 of the way there. Was expecting to have to do like 25,000 salvages. The small salvages are definitely going a lot better, or a lot faster. They are like 12 to 15 minute trips, which is super nice. And that's including actually getting the salvage and sorting through it. And so we're getting like four trips an hour, which is like 350 salvages an hour. And that's still going to be like 60 hours of salvaging to get steel bars if we go on rate for that. But a lot better than the Barracuda salvage. A lot better, a lot faster than the Barracuda salvage. But yeah, so since we have everything we need banked, I am going to turn all of these into arrow tips, and then since we have the 3 steel bars, might as well make the kite shield. There we go, 40 smithing. Can smelt gold ore and make steel battle axes. Cool. 41 smithing. 1 level left to go. Can make steel chain body, so that's one of the things we need. And can apparently make rune felling axes. Cool. But yes, 1 level left to go. Let's do this. Alright, 42 smithing. Can now make steel kite shields. So, let's do that. Steel kite shield. That is our best in slot melee defense? Yeah, that's just all around our best in slot melee defense. So we still, of course, need a steel chain body and a steel medium help. But that is our smithing grind completed. It's 42 smithing. We need 4 more steel bars to make the remaining steel items that we need, and then a further 8 to make the steel cannon that we need. On top of that, we also have the 72 fletching, which I think is what I want to knock out next, before we go back to salvaging. So, let's do it. We have finished up all of our arrows, all of our arrow tips. Do not have any left. But that is probably not going to do any more arrows. What's our total arrows looking like? 25,000 bronze arrows and 5,000 iron arrows, and some other ones. But those were the two big ones we were making. So that, I'm sure, will come in handy at some point. Anyways, we are just short of 65 fletching. And so I think I'm going to try to knock out the rest of the fletching grind, get all the way to 72 to make the U shield. That is 65 fletching. 66 fletching. 67. 68. 69 fletching. We are just about out of oak logs, so we will be moving on to teak logs now. I think they're only a little bit more XP each. Going from 25 to 27. I think there's a big jump when we get to maple logs, though. 70 fletching, just 2 levels to go. And that is 71 fletching. 1 level left to go. I think I'm gonna switch to maple logs now. Teak logs are just harder to get. We have to go through the Barracuda salvage. We don't have access to any teak trees. And so I would like to keep a number of these if I can. But once I run out of maple logs, I will probably switch back to teak logs. This should be 72 fletching, which means you can make other stuff and U shields. Awesome. Which means we have a couple of U logs here, and we can turn them into a shield. Alright. That is our best in slot magic defense. Alright, this has a +3 magic defense bonus. So that is our best in slot magic defense. And we needed 40 defense to wield it in the first place. So now we are done with our fishing grind. That took, 10, 12 hours or something of just sitting next to the bank fletching. Surprisingly, I didn't actually run out of maple logs, still have 300 of them. We were able to keep 2,000 teak logs, which will probably come in handy at some point. But, let's see, we got 8,961 oak longbows, 1,455 maple longbows, 5,422 teak stalks. We also have 8 oak shields. I thought, because those use 2 logs at a time, it might be faster. They're not. It actually takes a tick longer to make 1 oak shield using 2 logs than to make 2 unstrung longbows using 2 logs, which is kind of funny. I don't particularly see having any use for these. So what I am going to do is sell them. Wow. 156,000 gold. That is a hell of a lot more than I was expecting to make there. I was expecting like 50,000 coins, but I suppose it makes sense. However, so that's our U shield and our 72 fletching. Checked off the list. So we have 2 big grinds left. We need 12 steel. So we're gonna need to do about another 20,000 salvages, and we also need 94 cooking. We currently have 86 cooking, which means we need 8 more cooking levels. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of trade off. So we'll get a cooking level, and then we'll do like 3,000 salvage, and then a cooking level 3,000 salvage, a cooking level 3,000 salvage. If we only doing the salvage in between the cooking levels, will get us to 21,000 salvage, which should then, if assuming we go on right, should have enough steel. At most, we'd be like 1 steel off if all goes well. And so I think that'll be my plan. And so I'm gonna knock out the rest of 87 cooking, and I will see you when that happens. Still working on 87 cooking. Almost there. But the random event timer is, we should be doing a random event sometime pretty soon. And so while we're buying fish, I'm constantly hopping worlds, so I'm not eligible for random events. And so while that timer is up, I'm going to grab these 1,000 fish offcuts and a knife, and we are going to be doing some crab hunting. There should be like 1 million cooking XP in fish offcuts, as well as like 700,000 hunter XP. But yeah, I am going to do this. Can I do 3 at a time now? Can. Cool. No, I can't. I can only do 2. I can do 3 at like 40. So this is still gonna be a little while before we can do 3. But while we're waiting for random events, this is what we're gonna be doing. And should give us a good amount of cooking as well as hunter XP. So that should be fun. 35 hunter. 87 cooking. Can now cook bluefin. Neat. That is, what, 7 levels left to go? 3.9 million experience left. Yeah, we are halfway XP-wise to our target. 94. Probably going to continue doing this till we get a random event, and then go out salvaging. We're also up to 37 hunter, and we just passed 850 total levels, which is pretty cool. I was looking at my combat level earlier, and we're at 59.9 combat. So I was thinking I was gonna have to remedy that at the end of this chunk. Not that it's actually like a task or anything that I have to do. It was just annoying me, being at 59.9 after our defense training. However, small salvage gives us bones. And so with this bone, that's 34 prayer. And, oh, incredible reflexes. And 60 combat. Nice. That is the last prayer we'll get before we start getting protection prayers. Those will definitely come in handy. At some point, at least. We still don't have any method to restore our prayer. Alright, 40 hunter. Can now have up to 3 traps placed at a time, which means I can now use this one as well. 3 traps should improve my speed of crabs by 50%, because now I have an extra trap, or, well, more or less, give or take.
I am speed!
And there is 45 hunter. Catch black warlocks and random bat things. Cool. And that is 88 cooking. 450,000 experience to go to 89. 6 levels left to go. We've been getting 50 to 55,000 cooking experience an hour, give or take. And we have 3.5 million experience left to go at this point. We're currently at almost 4.4 million experience, and have 3.5 left to go. So that's gonna take a little while. I think it'll be round about 70 hours. On top of that, we've gotten 5 of the 15 total steel bars that we need. And so we're going to need to do another 18,000 salvage. which will be another 50 hours, give or take. So we're looking at round about 120 hours to be able to finish these chunks. That'll be at least a week, maybe a week and a half, to be able to do that. My kind of sort of goal is to try to get 1 cooking level and about 3,000 salvage done every day, which then we'd be done in like 6 days. Highly doubt that's going to play out, because I do have, life stuff outside of this. So I imagine it's going to be longer than 6 days. So I would like to get this video out. I was really hoping to have the chunk rolls in this episode, but I don't think that's going to happen and be able to get it out in a timely manner. So, next episode though, we will absolutely be rolling chunks. And in fact, I think I'm going to try doing a chunk rolling stream. When exactly this will be, I am not entirely sure. It very much so depends on how quickly I can get through the cooking grind and the salvaging grind and anything that comes up during it. But yes, I am going to plan on doing a chunk rolling stream here on YouTube when I'm rolling these next chunks. I've seen a number of other OneChunk accounts do that. Sounds like fun. Will probably be towards the end of the week after this episode comes out. When I have a better idea about when this will be, I will make a community post on YouTube sharing the time and date. Will odds are be in the evening, at least evening in the US. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that. If you want to make sure not to miss this, hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and you should be able to see whenever I start going live. So I absolutely hope to see all of you there, and whether you can make it or not, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.